everybody, welcome to the Rocky and Derrick Show. Today we are at downtown at the Culture Center with
Nancy
and Roger Kimbrough.
What do you do?
We own Bestway grocery store in Lindley Park.
How long have you been doing it?
We bought it about 10 years ago.
How long has the grocery store been there?
Bestway opened originally in 1947 as an A&P, and it's been a grocery store ever since. So it's actually probably the oldest true neighborhood grocery store in the Triad. I don't believe there's any other grocery store that's been in the same building for over 70 years like ours.
What made you want to work at the grocery store?
Well, we were both in corporate America and decided it was time to leave and wanted to do something local.
Who inspired you to own a grocery store?
Well, that's a good question. We actually looked at several other businesses before we decided on Bestway, but we just felt there was a lot of great opportunity. We liked the neighborhood and felt that we could do something important, and as well as hopefully make $1 or $2 with our efforts. And the neighborhood's been very appreciative of the things we've done at the store, and we've turned it around and have made it something to be proud of.
What kind of products do you sell at the grocery store?
Well, we pretty much sell what any other grocery store would carry, but we have a big focus on craft soda and craft beer and a wonderful wine selection. And our produce department, I think, is pretty popular with the neighborhood and beyond.
Where is the grocery store located?
It's on Walker Avenue in Lindley Park. Lindley Park's not too far from here. It's off of Market Street, in between Market Street and Spring Garden, about 3/4 of a mile from UNCG campus. So it's a neighborhood that has a combination of students and teachers and professors, and so it's a nice mix of customers that we have in the area.
Is there any employees that works there?
Yep, we have about 20 to 25 employees, depending on the time of year.
Have you ever started if someone wasn't there, have you started to be like an employer to fill in for them?
We've had to fill in sometimes if someone calls out or if they need an extra person, you mean, like in the morning to unload a truck. We always are more than happy to, if we're not there, we certainly go in to help, to pitch in to make sure everything runs right. But we have employees typically that have been there quite a few years, so they tend to be there when they're needed. So, we can do just about anything from unloading a truck to ringing at the register and stocking shelves, and we try to do a little bit of all of that. To lead by example, I guess you'd say.
What was there before the grocery store?
I don't know. I wasn't around in 1947.
It's always been a grocery store since the building was built.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. It's been owned by a couple different people. Originally it opened as an A&P, and it's changed hands, and it was named other things, but in the mid-'70s is when it became Bestway. And Bestway was actually a part of 17 stores, a part of a co-op, Buy Right and Bestway stores. And actually in the 70s they did over a third of the grocery business in Guilford County. They were kind of a big deal back in the 70s, but my understanding is the original owner passed away, and stores slowly closed up one by one until ours was the last one standing. And so it's kind of nice to be able to carry on a tradition of something that's been around a long time, as well as something that was pretty well known to a lot of people in Guilford. We run up against a lot of people, run into a lot of people that say, well, I remember Bestway. Of course, it's a different Bestway, but with 17 of them, somebody knew somebody that either worked at a Bestway grocery or shopped at a Bestway grocery. So it's good to carry on that tradition, I think.
So what's the name of it?
Bestway.
Oh, I thought you were just calling it that.
Nope. We get confused with Bestway Rent to Own, but we do not sell refrigerators. We sell groceries.
What's the best thing that you like doing there?
I like being part of a local community. It's fun being in the middle of a neighborhood. I've always enjoyed working with the general public, and it's just a great place to work and a great neighborhood to be in.
How long have you owned the store?
It's been about 10 years. and hopefully by the end of next month and the end of June, we'll have a second store. So we'll have twice as much fun that we're having already.
So you make sodas, right?
We sell soda. We don't make soda. Yes. Lots of different types of craft soda. Anything you can imagine, we have. From plain old regular Coca-Cola to Monster Mucus and Toxic Slime to lots of different root beers. We have Uncle Scott's root beer. We have Brownie Caramel root beer. Pretty much any kind of root beer you could imagine, because somebody really likes root beer.
Could be.
That would be this one. And then we have the Stalinade and the Nuclear Orange Bomb and See You Later. So we have a lot of different kinds of sodas.
Yeah, some sodas actually, back in the day during Prohibition, a lot of breweries couldn't sell beer, so they made soda. They made root beer. And so you have a lot of breweries today that still carry on that tradition. So we have sodas from Rogue Brewery all the way from Portland, Oregon. We have Goose Island, which is another brewery outside of Chicago. We have sodas from them. We used to carry Sprecher, which is a German brewery out of Wisconsin. They have a full line of soda as well, and so that's sort of a part of craft soda. You know, you hear about craft beer, but a lot of these breweries also make craft beer or soda as well. And then we have a lot of people that like ginger ale, especially Blenheims, which people go crazy over. Ginger ale is a big a drink that people like on its own, as well as people like to mix it with other things. And root beer's the same way. There's a lot of different root beers that people love to try, and people that just drink root beer. And then we have fun categories, like Nancy was talking about, the Dictator series and the Bug Juice, and so there's a lot of different types of sodas that we sell.
Have you tasted any of the bug juices and all the types of sodas that she named?
We have, and we find that line is actually made by Avery, and although the names are not appetizing perhaps, the flavors are very good, and they're all made from natural juice, so they're actually pretty good for you, and they taste you will go back and buy a second and a third one. Now, some of the other sodas that we sell, they're kind of a one and done. You know, like I know bacon soda is very popular, but we find a lot of people love to try it, but I don't really think they come back and buy a second bottle. But that's okay, because it's part of fun of trying something different and something that you haven't seen before or haven't tried before.
Have you tried the sodas?
I've tried a lot of them. Absolutely.
Can you name some of the kinds you tasted?
Excuse me.
Let's see. I've tasted most of the Dictator ones. I think Uncle Scott's root beer would probably be one of my favorites.
They're actually a North Carolina soda, and it's an interesting story. They were injured in a car accident, and they were basically handicapped in a wheelchair, and they just started making their sodas. And it's a really, really good root beer, and it's a good story, and they're good people to support. So we carry their root beer.
And there's also a root beer. It's called Margot's Bark, and part of the proceeds go to Animal Rescue. They're not from North Carolina. I can't remember where they are from, but they make a good soda. The Blenheims is really, really popular ginger ale, and it comes from South Carolina, and it took a long time before they wanted to distribute outside of their area, so we're glad that we have them.
Do you have any type of favorite soda?
I do. We carry a line that's called Kimbrough, and they're from Charleston, South Carolina, and a couple guys that started their company in their garage, and they use all natural. They try very hard to use all natural fruits from the local area in season, and they're all batched, so they actually have numbered batches, and it's just the quality of the soda is very high, and it always tastes very fresh, and it's a good line, and very pleased to be able to carry it.
Do you have like this little thing where you have like the popular sodas and like like having pictures saying like you should try this one, or do you have any commercial shows?
Sometimes when we have new flavors come in, though, we post them on Facebook.
Do you have any least favorites?
I don't think I have any least favorite. No, not really. I think it's always interesting to try new things.
How many people have you fired from the store?
Oh, we're going from soda to firing. Well, probably more than either one of us would like to have fired, but yes, it happens. It's a part of business. Sometimes people
Make poor choices.
Make poor choices, and
they need to do something different.
I knew it. Is there any soda that you're looking forward on 20 days?
Let's see. I don't know. Probably whichever soda we find and bring in next will be the next one I want to taste. So it's out there. I just got to find it.
sometimes it's a challenge. Sodas that become available to us one year, sometimes they stop being available the following year. So we're constantly chasing new brands and new flavors, and that's good to always have something new for the customer to see. But it's not like necessarily like Pepsi and Coke, where they have Coke and Diet Coke, and it's always there, and you know that whenever you walk in the store, you're always going to see that. With craft soda, it can change a little bit, what's available and what's not available.
What about any of your other products?
When we opened the store, we focused on craft beer, and that's kind of what made us famous. Before we got into the craft soda, we have over 1,600 different types of craft beer in our assortment, which it's one of the best assortments in the state. And from there, we went in to expand after craft soda, and we went to expand our local products. Produce is an area that we like to, that we feel very proud of, as well as local meat. We have a lot of local beef and local chicken and local pork farmers that we support in our store, and that's been a big part of our success as well.
Do you think you'll see yourself doing this in the next 2 years or so?
Sure, absolutely. As Roger mentioned, we're soon to open a second store, so I'm sure we'll be around in the grocery business for at least a few more years.
Yes.
Will it still be called Bestway?
Bestway.
Oh.
Best Buy is actually an electronics store. Yes, Bestway, and the second store will be called Bestway Marketplace.
So your grocery store is mostly about like beers and wine and sodas, right?
No, it's a full-line grocery store.
Full line.
Has everything you would buy in any other grocery store, just a little bit smaller setup. And again, it has a very large focus on local products. And by local, I really mean the state of North Carolina. We really like to, as a local business, we like to give the opportunity to other local people that are starting things up. We have lots of different local pimento cheese, local barbecue sauce. I always say everybody in North Carolina seems to either make pimento cheese or barbecue sauce. And they do a pretty great job of it.
How can people get in contact with you?
Well, you can contact us through our Facebook page, which is Bestway Grocery on Facebook, and we have a phone number that's listed in the directory, and contact us anytime. We'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
But better yet, just come on in. We're at
Better yet.
2113 Walker Avenue.
In your own words, each, what advice would you give the kids?
Study hard. Find your passion and go for it.
What about you?
I think that's pretty good advice. Find something that you really enjoy doing, and I think you'll succeed once you find that passion of yours.
Well, that's it for today, guys. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and if you like our interview and if you want to become a sponsor, go to our website.